Hi there, and welcome back to Beaverbrook, my HO scale shelf layout. And this evening, uh, just a just an opportunity to do a bit of a quick switch. Um, we're running X Wisconsin Central SDL 39 number 582, now operated by a short line and lease system HMLX. As you'll see if we get a chance to see her up close. Um, and we're just going to switch out the two empty cement cars that were in the front spur, I think, this evening. I haven't got too long, so I thought it's been a while since we've done one of these, so I'll give it another whirl. I think since the last live operating session, the structure at the back there, the grey offices and manufacturing facility, that's now in prime with a lot more detail. So I'm hoping over the next month or so that will get some colour and start to come to life. Leaving sadly just one cardboard structure left to replace in styrene. It'll be a real milestone when that happens. So things don't happen very quickly here on Beaverbrook. It's all about slowing things down. And whilst my day job of being a model maker perhaps isn't quite as stressful as some of yours, although I do know how you feel, I used to have a proper 9 till 5 before I started doing this instead. I have still been working hard on customer models and commissions and design work and thinking, and and of course I've got family life as well, so it's that opportunity at the end of the day to unwind a little bit. So first job, just imagining the crew have just cut that car at the back, the box car. We've got to swap. If we're swapping these two cement cars at the front here, we need to put the loaded grain cars at the back out of the way. So it's a bit unusual actually, because at the moment there are actually two empties spotted at the co-op. We might get to switching them over the weekend if you want to join me again. But tonight, it's, as I say, it's just going to be this front spur. So the layout is digital, but the turnouts and things are a single digit wiring tube with frog juices. Just it slows things down, and it also keeps me in the moment. I don't have to mess around thinking about what blooming function numbers I need to push on the handset. It's bad enough having plus and minus for speed. I'd much rather have a I have got the jog wheel, but I'd much rather have a more traditional DC controller, but then we'd lose the effect of the lights and the sounds and things, wouldn't we? So So thank you for joining me this evening if you've only just tuned in. We're just switching the cement spur here at the front on Beaverbrook, my HO scale shelf layout. You can perhaps see 2/3 of it, and there's a third or so behind you. It's only 2 turnouts. It's really simple. It just shows what's possible in a small space, really. And after all these years, I still have not tired of operating it. I absolutely love it. There's no car cards, there's no sort of switching schedule. I just dig around in the stock box, build up a train on up there in the distance, and then bring it on stage if you like, and get involved, get stuck into some switching. So we're going to leave these 2 grain cars here. And head back. Now the question is there enough space between the level crossing down the far end to fit the box car and the cylindrical hoppers in, the old cement hoppers? I think what I'm going to do to save the traffic is we'll put this box car, this loaded box car, on the back of these, out of the way, and then we'll come and get these, put them where that is, and then switch back. So kind of just make this up as we go. I guess there's only a certain number of ways to operate this layout, really. I hope you can all hear me okay. I've got the iPhone's microphone sort of much nearer my head than usual, but I do appreciate that these sound locos, although it's not loud in the room, the microphone does like to to pick it up, doesn't it? So I'm actually stood with you watching this, almost rail fanning my own layout. It's wonderful. I'm just imagining, the crew getting down. You got to throw that switch, unlock it. Mind you might not lock it back up actually. We're only going to be back down here again in a second, aren't we? Number 582 is a Scale Trains SDL 39. It was a bit of a treat. I don't tend to spoil myself with out-of-the-box models. I prefer working on them myself. But I've always had a soft spot for these tiny Coco trucked locos. I mean, it is literally tiny. It's smaller than a Jeep 9. Superb looking thing. Runs beautifully. Built-in stair light. Really smooth running. Not 100% a fan of the Scale Trains couplings though. Connect at the air, get the handbrake off. Gives us a chance to enjoy it up close, doesn't it? I love those lighted headboards. I can never be bothered with the faff of messing around with anything other than headlights when I create my own models. So if we ever have any of my own stuff on here, some of the resin kits and things I've made, they've only ever got headlights. In fact, actually, the first resin kit I did was a Canadian National S13, which these days runs around with patched for Terra Transport. That thing doesn't even have headlights. I've just got some jewels in there. Perhaps one day I'll go back and retrofit them. Currently on the bench actually is a very similar model. I've got another Caslo Montreal Locomotive Works kit. It's the RS23, so the Canadian Pacific equivalent, I suppose. So I'm enjoying putting that together actually. It's pretty much ready for paint now. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I tend to write about that on the blog. The blog Where's the link to that? Well, if you're watching this on YouTube rather than on the internet, then you should find it in my details. So for anyone who's recently joined us, thank you for joining in. We're just operating Beaverbrook this evening. Just a quick switch of this front spur. So the crew didn't need to put the handbrake onto the boxcar because it was already, the covered hoppers are already braked, so just coupled up. We'll need that again in a minute. Let the crew off there. And I'm going to throw that first turnout ready for in a minute, and then they'll wander down and change the second for us. Now you won't be able to see it. Oops, sorry guys. You won't be able to see it from there, but this spur is adverse camber as well. So as the stood where I am, I can see as the loco comes across the road there, it's sort of leaning over to one side. So these two cement cars are from American Limited, and they're lovely things, but they come with their own plastic couplers. Which are a pain, and I've managed to push the buffers off the end there. Yeah, they're a pain. You can't easily change them because of the way the cars are constructed either. So. No, sorry about the intermittent video just now. That was the low battery. It popped up on my phone again. It always seems to run out of battery this time of day. Ah, There you go, a bit of flange wheel. Those of you who've got one of these will realise that they got some little neat tricks in them. They had like a frog clank noise, which was on sort of like metal actuators on the bottom of the trucks, but they just shorted out the frog juices, so I pulled those off. But it must have, I don't know what sensors are on it, but it knows how sharply the trucks are turning. And if you're at the right speed, you'll get the flange squeal as well. Now the locomotive safely back on the track, they'll probably, yeah, there you go. I'm going to wander down. And is there enough space? No, there is not enough space, so they're going to have to put someone in the road. And the crew's just jumped down now. The road is clear, so... And try to avoid using the horn if they can. Okay, so we're now going to put the empty cement cars in the arrival road. As I say, I'm only going to do this front spur tonight. I'll come back and do a bit more operating either tomorrow or over the weekend. Tomorrow I could perhaps even open a beer, that'd be quite nice. Obviously I wouldn't encourage any real operation under the influence, but in the workshop, eh? So if anyone's interested in a more immersive experience rather than me waffling on, I have got a couple of operational videos on the YouTube channel now, because I do appreciate these YouTube lives are static. I mean, I can move the camera around, but it's a right old faff, so really you're just tuning in for my waffle. But if you're interested in more seeing how the layout operates and imagine putting yourself trackside, I've done a few videos of that type. So I think there's one with the BC Rail CRS 20, and I think there is one with number 582 as well, the most recent video, or one of the more recent videos. Okay, so half the job is now done. We now have the empty cement cars where we want them. We need to go back, pick up that blue boxcar, HMLX boxcar, and pop that in the spur now. And then it's job done for this evening. The crew will probably go and pop the loco down near the old Terra Transport office down the far end for the evening. So I noticed earlier actually that when I did leave the boxcar there, that it didn't successfully couple up anyway, although I was muttering it had done, of course. It hasn't done, so this is going to be nice and easy. I can just go and pick it up and no need to get my hands on. I've got quite a few of these boxcars actually, or I've had a few over the years. Actually, there's only 2 in the stock box, thinking about it. They're actually branch line models, Berwick design, 50 foot. They come in all sorts of liveries. You usually pick them up over here in the UK quite cheaply, unmade, and then I enjoy putting them together. It also gives you a chance to patch out for your own short line or what have you. I quite enjoy using them as a base because of the fun you can have with sort of fading and messing around with the finish. And so on this one, before I actually patched it, I weathered it as if the white writing that was underneath the patches had streaked down the body side a bit, which worked really, really nicely. Faded it as well a little bit, and then added the patches and the HMLX markings over the top. So I've just gone down the far end to check when we're clear of the turnout. I think it's going to be tight again. Because although the SDL39 is quite short, it's not as short as one of the switches. No, I don't need to go into the road. Just a touch. Okay, so last move of the evening. I'm going to propel this car back across the road into the front spur. And this front spur, there's no structures here or anything. I can see straight in, but it's kind of in my head that sometimes it's a cement transload, sometimes boxcars are parked there. In reality, on Beaverbrook, this siding doesn't exist. In fact, even the cement spur has been lifted more recently, but the cement spur actually is one block further down. Oh, I should have the bell on there, shouldn't I? There we go. Just gives me a bit of operational flexibility, and I really like detailing weathering stock, so having a section of the layout that isn't any particular use, I can sort of almost justify anything, is a great tool for me. Gosh, we're up to 23 minutes already. It is absolutely amazing just how much time you can, I'd say lose, but how much you enjoy yourself here. You just lose track of time. No idea how long things take. So, that's going to be it for the evening. It's been, as I say, a bit of a busy day. I've been thinking about what I'm going to write about on the blog tomorrow for the Friday update. I've got a few ideas. Also shared some video this week of a new commission that I've just finished, an N-gauge layout on a small shelf based on the Matt FX Brewery in Utica. That worked out really, really well. Really pleased with that. So if you've not seen that, do go and have a look. As I say, if this operational video is your first visit here, then thanks for watching, and there's plenty more on the channel. If you're a regular, thanks for tuning in. I've not had comments on, so I've no idea if you've all been chatting away and I've not seen any of it. But I do hope you've enjoyed just spending a bit of time here with me this evening, and I'll see you all again soon. So yeah, cheers guys.